Holy crap. I don't know who the hell we think we are when we do something like that.
What's up, fight fans? This is the Combat Connection. We are live on the Cageside Press social media platforms. I'm Brent Cagle, joined as always by Eddie Law, and we've got a loaded show for you guys today. A lot to unpack here in the MMA community. We've got UFC 320 coming up. We've got PFL Hughes versus Nurmagomedov 2 on Friday night. A lot to talk about. But, Eddie, let's jump right into UFC Perth from last weekend. We have to cover this fight night card. Carlos Ulberg put on the biggest statement win of his career, knocking out former title challenger Dominick Reyes in impressive fashion. Eddie, I got to ask you, he's already beaten a former champion in Jan Blachowicz, just took out another former title challenger, kind of did the UFC a favor dropping down to fight Dominick Reyes here on this card headlining the show. Do you think that Carlos Ulberg gets the title shot regardless of the Khalil Rountree, Jiri Prochazka #1 contenders fight potentially this weekend? There's a lot to shape up here at 205 that we have to talk about, but I think that Carlos Ulberg's name has to be in that final consideration.
Absolutely has to be in there, man. And Carlos is going to be in attendance this weekend. No doubt about it. Like, you know, when those guys are walking out, you know, the UFC camera's going to be like right there on Carlos Ulberg. So he's definitely got to be on the short list of guys that are up for that fight. The only way I think he doesn't get the title shot is if you piss somebody off, or if the winner of the fight not that he doesn't get the fight, but he has to take a while to get that title fight. Is if someone gets hurt in the title fight on Saturday, or if somehow, some way, either Jiri or Khalil does something insane and like makes it like undeniable, right? Which I don't see happening. I think we're gonna get a war out of those two, but I don't think we're gonna get a guy that's like, yeah, he needs to be next to the title. So I think we'll see Carlos in there next. It's hard to deny him, man. Well, he hasn't lost in a minute, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he has one professional loss on his career,
and it's not in the UFC.
I do not believe it was in the UFC either.
Yeah, so there you go. I think he's next, dude. I'd give it to him. I'd give him a shot.
Yeah, but I think for Carlos Ulberg, the perfect situation for him is if Alex Pereira wins the belt, right? So look at it this way. Alex wins the belt. He's already beaten Jiri twice. He's already fought Khalil Rountree. Maybe if there's a contentious, decision that there's a third fight between him and Ankalaev, but the fresh face, the new kid on the block, a challenger for Alex Pereira, two strikers going at it, which would pretty much guarantee a knockout, would be Carlos Ulberg versus Alex Pereira. I think that would be a devastating striking matchup and something the UFC could really get behind if Pereira goes out there and, say, flatlines Magomed Ankalaev this weekend. I think that Carlos Ulberg would probably be next in line to fight Alex Pereira. But if Magomed Ankalaev goes in and wins, like the odds makers are expecting him to do, I think that we get him versus Jiri Prochazka more than likely next. So for Carlos Ulberg, though, in my opinion, this was the biggest win of his career. I know he's beaten Jan Blachowicz, but this was just impressive. Doing it over a guy in Dominick Reyes who was on a 3-fight win streak and in his own right was trying to make his own run back towards the title. Eddie, where do we go here for Dominick Reyes? Because he was somebody who, was narrowly close to beating John Jones, was almost champion himself. But now, he's been knocked out. I believe this is 4 times in his UFC career. What would you like to see done with him next? First
of all, and let me talk to Dominick straight. Dom, cool. Like, I know you're kind of, I'll keep my personal opinions about you aside, but now you can shut the fuck up about John Jones, right? Can we be done with the whole, I beat John Jones? You didn't. Couldn't even be Carlos Ulberg, dog. I'm not saying this to put him down. What I'm saying is he did so much talking about beating John Jones. Did you see that picture I posted on our Instagram on Cageside?
I did not.
So I was looking for post-fight stuff for Perth, right? Just to get bonus and stuff like that, which we ended up having to get through the PR anyway. But tell me why. In fact, let me pull it up. Fuck the fourth wall, boys. All right, I'm gonna show y'all exactly what good old Johnny Bones posted on there. Let me see.
Jones was shit talking him online.
Just one thing. Here it is. Did Dominick winning? Oh, fuck hell. What the hell? Am I on the wrong Instagram? No, it's not. Hold up. Is it showing up here? There it is. Yeah.
Did Dominick win again?
Did Dominick win again? Yeah. All right, guys. This is how it goes. What's that, Rafael? Oh, no, yeah. Rafucho, Rafael. You say Raf. My bad, dude. Capitan Rafucho, how you doing, man? Yeah, dude, he goes, did Dominick win again? And it's funny because you heard a bunch of lead up. Dominick, I beat John Jones. I think I beat John Jones. Let it go, my guy. Yeah. Let it go. Stop. Focus on the guy in front of you, not the guy that you didn't beat behind you.
Yeah.
Relax.
And the first time that you mentioned John Jones, he is one of these guys that's petty. Remember when Phil Davis was like, "Oh, I'm going to be the guy to beat John Jones. This guy wrestled in junior college. I'm the Division I national champ." And then he goes and loses to Rumble, and John Jones had a lot to say about that. And they never faced each other, and that matchup never came to be. But Eddie, for this one, I think Dominick Reyes needs a time off, probably 6 months. Get him back in there against a grappler or somebody who might not be as devastating as a striker. He's fought Nikita Krylov. He's fought Carlos Ulberg. He's fought a lot of dangerous guys here in the last year and a half. And honestly, those 3-fight win streak that he went on leading up to last weekend was very impressive to me. So I don't think he's somebody that should hang it up right now. I think that he's probably got another push left in him. And when you look at the state of the light heavyweight division right now, it's not like there's 20, 25 guys that are better than Dominick Reyes, in my opinion. No,
you're right. But this game it'll leave you behind so fast. That's why guys get in here. They're like, we got to go now. That's why you get the youngest champion ever, or I don't know now, but he might still be the youngest champion ever in John Jones, right? Yep. He was like, let's go, right? Everyone that has Conor McGregor, let's go. Hamza Chimaev, fucking 2 fight weeks in a row back when we first started. So obviously had that time off because of injury and sickness and whatever else. But my point remains the same. Once you get in this game, you got to go before they get tape on you, okay? Because now everybody knows what Dominick Reyes looks like when he fights, okay? Mm-hmm. Everyone knows how to beat him now. So what does Dominick have to do? Go away for a year and go evolve your game, specifically your defense, because your chin is not there, my boy. You lean way too into your chin strength, and it was not there.
One of the things for me, Eddie, when I was watching this one, just from the fight when I was watching it, Dominick Reyes was not that aggressive. And for a guy who was talking about how he wants to get back to a title shot and all that, I don't think that he can look back on that performance from last weekend and think, wow, I put my best foot forward to try and win that fight. Honestly, Eddie, I was watching it for like 3 minutes straight. I'm sitting there. They weren't really exchanging much. I turned my head for half a second, and Dominick Reyes is laying on the floor. So Carlos Ulberg can shut the lights out in a moment's notice, but it's not like Dominick Reyes was going in there instinctively for the kill, or it didn't look like he was aggressive as we've seen him in the past. And it looked to me like Carlos Ulberg dictated the terms of that fight from the beginning of the bell.
Yeah, I mean, look, he didn't look aggressive. The entire lead up to the fight, everyone was like, oh, look how calm he is. I didn't see calm. I saw nervous as shit. That's what I saw. I saw him, because the way he was talking, like just trying to be this calm and everything. It's just like, dude, I know that's for the most part what he is, but he just gave off like a smell of nervous. And I'm not saying he's scared, guys. Like, look, first of all, if you get in the octagon or in a cage or in a ring or anywhere, even at a jiu-jitsu mat or a tournament, you're not a little bit scared, you're not fucking human, you're full of shit. But he wasn't scared, like, oh, I don't want to fight him. It was like, shit, I gotta make sure I get my shit together. We got to do this shit.
Moment, yeah.
Huge moment. Like,
I feel like Reyes is at his best kind of when he's at that stage where he's kind of a little bit of a prick, right? He's got like a competitive chip on his shoulder.
He was a dick with John. Remember? He was a dick to John Jones on the lead up. He's like, I'm going to fuck him up, blah, blah, blah. Gets beat, and his confidence tanks. Injuries. He almost fucking died. I forgot exactly what it was and everything, but he was fucked up, and he comes back a different guy, and it's not the same guy. It's a dog and everything. When I saw the guy I saw fight in the cage in Perth belongs in PFL or BKFC. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not going to sugarcoat for nobody. He does not belong at the top of the UFC light heavyweight division as he is right now. Go away for a year. Go to Thailand. Go to Dagestan. Go to freaking anywhere that you haven't been to yet. You're uncomfortable, and train up and evolve.
And how about some grappling too at some point?
That's what I'm saying.
We mentioned the dangerous strikers. Krylov. I know he got the best of them, but Ulberg, these are dangerous guys that he's going to have to go in there and at best take 50-50 chances with in the pocket, and we'll see what the outcome is, But it could have gone the other way against Krylov. He was a betting underdog in that matchup, right? So it didn't go his way this weekend. When you get into these gunfights at light heavyweight, it just seems to me like that those weight classes, 205 and heavyweight, the grappling is just something that you need in your back pocket, especially when you get up there against the elite strikers like Carlos Ulberg, Alex Pereira, and guys like that. But we got to move on and talk about the rest of this card. Yeah. There was a big win here by Jimmy Crute over Ivan Erslan. You're going to have to talk to me a little bit about this submission. It looked like a neck crank, but it didn't necessarily look like he had it under the chin. It looked like it was uncomfortable, to say the least. But what did you make of this submission? And Jimmy Crute getting back in the win column, he looks good since returning to the UFC, in my opinion.
All I can show you, Okay, I can't show you. I have bottom row teeth, right? I have two that are a little like into each other a little bit, right? And it has nothing to fucking do with the fact that my teeth were like that. My teeth were not like that before I was, how old was I when I had 33? That was a jiu-jitsu tournament that I got fucking I got cranked right here, okay? The same way Robert Whitaker did, except not as hard, obviously, because I would have fucking, there's no way I don't break my shit, right? Yeah. But that happened in a tournament in San Diego when I was 33 years old, so about 6 years ago, okay? And that was against a Russian. Okay, I did not know he was a Russian until I talked to him afterwards. He goes, "Oh yeah, Russian," and I'm like, "You're a fucking asshole." He's, "What are you doing here, asshole?" Anyway, but that is incredibly painful if you can't handle that shit. On top of that, you just fought for what 3 minutes 19 seconds, and it was a rough fight overall for the most part. Okay, then you get put in that thing. You got a business decision to make, right? Not to mention, I'm pretty sure he was hurt at that point. So all these factors going against you and everything. That neck crank absolutely sucked. I do not blame shit. Who do you fight?
Ivan Urslan.
Thank you. I do not blame Ivan at all for tapping. That was no shame in your game, dog. It's business decision at that point. You want to break your jaw, be out for a year, 2 years, however long that takes, and be wired shut and everything, or do you want to live to fight another day? It is what it is.
Yeah, Jimmy Crute to me is like he's making a name as a finisher. Like he's gotten knocked out a couple times, but he's finished fights on the ground. He can finish fights with his hands. He's very well rounded, and he comes forward. He's a wild man in there, Eddie. He's either going to get you out of there or he's going to get put out due to his aggressive nature. But he gets the job done this weekend. Is there anybody specifically you would like to see Jimmy Crute fight next? And how impressed have you been with him since returning to the UFC?
I've been impressed, but I don't really care who he fights next. He's not fighting for a title. Like, let's be real. He's not going to ever fight for a title unless, like, some incredible circumstance happens and he gets super lucky, right? Let's be honest. He's not going to, right? So we can forget that. Let's get my man Jimmy Crute in some fun matchups, some strikers, or some other grapplers that, like, not just, okay, let me clear it up. Doesn't matter what the discipline is. Getting him in there with some finishers. I want to see him almost get finished and come back and finish somebody, whatever else. Like, get him some fun fights, get him paid, have some fun with him. But I don't know exactly. I can't give you a name. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree too, though. And Eddie, in my opinion, I thought that the fight we're going to talk about next should have been the co-main event, and that was Neil Magny versus Jake Matthews. And we got a lot to talk about this fight because in the end of the first round, Jake Matthews was completely dominant in that first round, right? Neil Magny was looking in a bad spot. Jake, who's not necessarily known as a grappler and was getting the best of Neil on the feet with his hands, got on his back and was choking him out there towards the end of the bell, had his arms up like this, defending the choke, but also was giving the thumbs up. Yeah. But it kind of looked like he was fading out into unconsciousness. I don't think he was necessarily unconscious, but the ref stopped the fight 2 seconds early. Then he realized he kind of fucked up, in my opinion, and he did the old I meant to stop the round and to continue the fight going, but the adrenaline dump from Jake Matthews was just too much. He tried to deal with it in the second round. I thought he won the second round still, but that third round, Neil Magny comes back and, like he has done so many times, comes from behind and upsets these guys just like Mike Malott and just like some other guys that he's done in the past, and gets a late round submission, breaking the will of his opponent as they gas. His cardio is still there. For the near 40-year-old Neil Magny, Eddie, I think this was a very impressive win. Maybe to put a statement on his career. I know he's going to keep doing it, but who knows? They're probably going to throw him to more up-and-coming contenders. They're going to be tough matchups. This might be the last big win for Neil Magny.
I mean, he's very much the gatekeeper at 170. He's been there for years. By the way, way to get one for the old guys, Neil. You're my guy. All right, but that part where his arm goes a little limp, that's going to be the giant asterisk on that win, okay? Jake Matthews already came out and said, hey, I'm gonna peel the shit. There's no way. And he did. Here's the thing. And Chael Sonnen actually already spoke about this. He goes, it's expensive and highly unlikely, and I highly agree. As shitty as it is, this is on the ref, okay? Like, I don't know the rules in terms of Australia specifically, or Perth, Australia specifically, or Western Australia, whatever. Okay, but I don't think you're allowed to restart the fight once you made a decision to stop it. I don't think you're allowed to restart the fight. So Jake Matthews has a legit argument to at least get it turned into a no contest. Okay, but it sucks. But you fight to the end. You fight till absolutely the end. And Neil Magny just had a little bit more in the tank for himself. So that was dope to see Neil Magny pull it off again. I was kind of laughing a little bit about it. But I would like to know what the bettors think. I don't know if you know anything about it, but the bettors must have been pissed.
Yeah, I lost money on it. I would have won. I'd have won about $500 if Jake Matthews came through, because I put 6 names all from Australia to win, and all 5 of them won other than Jake Matthews. Right? Australia had a really big night on the cards. Tom Nolan, Jimmy Crute, all those guys. But the bettors weren't too happy about it. But as you're talking about him appealing it, one matchup comes to mind for me historically, and it's Michael Bisping versus Anderson Silva. And when Anderson Silva need Michael Bisping, he had the same adrenaline dump come down just like Matthews did, maybe even more so, because he thought he had won the fight by knockout, right? Herb Dean was the official in that contest. So when that happened, Michael Bisping, same as Neil Magny, was able to come back, capitalize on that adrenaline dump, and then take over in the 4th and 5th round. Bisping was obviously a cardio machine, just like Neil Magny. Different fighters, but tremendous cardio for both of them. And they both are known for breaking their opponent's wills. So, Eddie, I thought this was a really big win for Neil Magny, but it really that matchup between Anderson Silva and Michael Bisping stuck out to me as one that was kind of similar between the two.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you on that one. And again, Michael Bisping had no chance to appeal that one either. So I think, right?
Yeah, I honestly don't think he'll win the appeal, even though I agree with it, right? So it's just one of those tough things.
Yeah, it sucks and everything. And I'd love to see Jake Matthews get I hope the UFC doesn't hold it against him. I'll put it that way, because I think that would suck ass, honestly. But we'll see what happens, man. It's a fight game. It sucks. Kicking the dick as many times as you let it.
Yep. And then there are 2 more fights we're briefly going to talk about. Jack Jenkins was able to get a unanimous decision victory over Ramon Tavares. I thought that was a good scrap, back and forth grappling exchanges there, but a 30-27 victory on 2 cards, 129-28 for Jack Jenkins. I think that he's a good prospect, Eddie. Do I think he's going to be a top 5, top 10 contender ever in the future? I probably don't. But for when they go to Australia and they go to some of these other cards, overseas, I think he's going to be someone who's highlighted on these main cards and featured fights of the prelims. But Eddie, we got to talk about Navajo Stirling real quick, because this is a guy that was really hyped. He comes in here and he puts on a dominant victory over who we got here, a dominant victory over Bellato, but wasn't able to get the finish. And last time out, same thing. Wasn't able to get the finish. A lot of hype has been on this guy. They're talking about how he's a wild man, and he goes in there and tries to finish all these fights, but he hasn't been able to get guys out of there. Is that a little concerning to you for someone who is known as a finisher coming into the UFC?
Not at 8-0, 27 years old. Not yet, right? Because he's only had, 2 fights in the UFC, I want to say. Let's see, 1, 3. This is his third fight. Third fight in the UFC. Right, all decisions and everything. He had that contender series fight against Philip Latu, who I think is still in LFA, I think, or whatever. But in fact, no, you know what that dude's doing? He's boxing now, if I remember correctly. But anyway, no, the experience isn't there yet, and it's not like he's taking on scrubs either. Like Tuco Tocos, not a scrub. Even Arizona, not a scrub. Rodolfo Bellato, clearly not a scrub. My guy herpes, but that's about it. And so it's not something where I'm surprised by it. He has to figure his way out and find his spots to be able to find finishes, right? And so, like we've seen it plenty of times with other guys, like they don't have it. Suddenly, boom, 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 knockouts. So we'll see what happens with Navajo Stirling. I want to see him. He's gonna have to level himself up with it as the competition gets stiffer. But I want to see him. I don't know who I want to see him against. There's a lot of guys I want to see him against, but I don't know that it's going to turn into it'll at least be a fun fight, but I don't know if it's going to be turned into like a finish for him. But
I got a name, Ion Kutalaba.
I like it because Ion Kutalaba is like, you ever see, Camp Scatterbo, right?
Yeah.
The joke about Camp Scatterbo
into the brick wall.
Not just that, he's just a crayon eating motherfucker. All right. Ion Kutalaba is 100% a crayon eating motherfucker. Just leads with his head and just throws like a wild man when the shit hits the fan. That is the guy putting out Stirling in. I'm 100% on that point. Book it for January. Make that Paramount Plus card that's going to have Elia and Patty and Harrison and Nunez. Put him on that card as the feature prelim, and let's see fireworks.
Exactly. I think it'd be a guaranteed fun fight. That's the name I'd like to see there at 205, Ion Kutalaba for Navajo Stirling. But let's move on. We've got some news that Dana broke recently. Let's get to the breaking news section of our show. We're going to get to the UFC 320 pay-per-view predictions and analysis along with the PFL Road to Dubai card. But we've got to talk about the announcement that Dana White made today on Instagram. We have 2 fights that were announced here. Ian Gary versus Bilal Muhammad is the first fight on the card that has been announced. And then the other one was Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. We get a little bit of clarity at 155 pounds. Eddie, what do you think this means for Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje, and Ilia Topuria? But are you excited for the matchup between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker? We've been talking about the inactivity for Arman for quite some time.
No, I'm not at all excited about it because I know good and goddamn well Dan Hooker's gonna fucking hurt in training. So no, you know what? I refuse to get excited about it till fight night because fuck that shit, Dan. Every 2 seconds you take a breath and boom, you broke your hand, or boom, you broke your dick, or boom, you broke your ass. So you broke something.
Arman's been pulling out of fights too, so it's a tricky matchup because Arman had just pulled out of that title fight with the back injury, right?
And y'all just made that the main event. What the fuck? Hey, you know what made me laugh though about the whole announcement? For the last 2 or 3 announcements Dana White has talked about, right? They're like, Dana White's gonna go live. He's gonna make an announcement. Well, last time out, it wasn't until like 11 at night, like Eastern or some shit like that. Okay, and this time it's like middle of the day. We're like, oh shit, we finally got it. He's gonna talk about UFC 323. We're going to Qatar.
Yeah.
The fuck, Dana? I didn't just jump out of my office here to hit up Instagram to hear you talk about Qatar and give a shit. Okay, and so anyway, I'm just being a dick, but it's still. No, the fight, it's a good fight on paper, right? Agree? I think it's a good fight on paper. I think it'll be a fun fight. Paper. I think it's a massive opportunity for Hooker to Jack Tsarukyan shine. And then it's an opportunity for Arman to be like, hey, bitch, I'm still here. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, I think Arman smokes him, to be honest with you, Eddie.
If they get into any kind of like grappling, it's fucking over, 100%. And because you know what Arman's not going to do is get in a firefight with Dan the Heyman freaking Hooker because that guy will throw until he dies. So,
and I think Arman's too technical maybe to even get caught by Dan in some circumstances. When you saw him against Beneil Dariush, he looked crisp with those right hands. I think his hands are really improving too.
No, 100%. Fair enough. That being said, I don't give a shit about the fight till it happens because I've been burned by both guys multiple times. One guy hurts his hand every 2 seconds. The other one rolls with Nina drama and breaks his ass. Like, god damn, bro. Can we keep Nina away from our main event, guys? Please. I don't hate you. I really don't. I think there's a place for what you do. Awesome. Good for you. Do your thing. All right. I have literally zero hate for Nina drama. But you fucked up about a title fight, man. Stop it. No, I don't blame her for that. That was Army shit. But still.
Yeah, I mean, nobody likes that he pulled out on short notice like that.
Yeah,
him and Islam was such a big fight, right? Everybody wanted to see him and Makhachev. They're the top 2 guys before Ilia made his rise up to 155. And I think that matchup between Arman and Ilia, we were talking about it when these guys kind of had the round robin when Paddy beat Michael Chandler and stuff. I think that's the toughest matchup for Ilia Topuria is Arman Tsarukyan. So I think there's a lot of potential there for him at 155 if he can get through Dan Hooker. He's just got to be more active than what we've seen him.
And he probably will. Let's be real. He probably will beat Dan Hooker. By the way, I just realized my ADD. I just picked this up. This is supposed to be green. This is the Mexico M. It's supposed to be green in the middle, and my green screen is getting picked up. So actually, is it 47 brand or is it lids.com? If you can get me one of these hats with the black M on it, I will be incredibly grateful because I am loving the look for real. Anyway, dude.
Second matchup, though. Bilal Muhammad, Ian Gary. What are you thinking about the second matchup at welterweight? Ian Gary gets his first former champion as an opponent. We just saw him beat Carlos Prates. Big win there. What do you think about the matchup?
I think it'll be a good one. I think it's interesting because you got tall, confident, and incredibly intelligent Ian Gary. Knows how to set himself up. And he's a guy that's super fluid. He doesn't stick to – he's not just a striker. He's not just a grappler, right? He mixes it all up really well. But his game plans aren't, I'm going to go in and punch. He's so fluid. He makes really good adjustments during the fight, right? It'll be interesting to see what Bilal does in terms of his adjustments, right? Because he's going to be at the end of Ian's punch. If I'm not mistaken, Ian's got the height and the reach advantage, I want to say. So
big, 6'3" to 5'10".
Right. So he's going to be, anytime Bilal wants to come crotch sniff, I'm not making fun of you, Bilal. That's what I call it. Like, he throws a fucking boom. He's going to be eating that the whole fucking time. Okay. What can Bilal do to mitigate that? Because you're not going to throw hands with Ian Gary. You're not. You got to go in, you got to get him down, and you got to bring him down to your size, which is on the ground. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a big chance for Ian Gary. I'll tell you that much. Hey, look, Ian Gary beats Bilal Muhammad. He's got a case. He finishes Bilal Muhammad. How do you not?
Yeah. And Eddie, would you, if we think about it, for some reason, let's say Jack Della Maddalena beats Islam Makhachev and he moves back down to 155 to fight Topuria, and that's the big fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you think of a better striking matchup at 170 pounds between Jack Della Maddalena and Ian Gary? I mean, that would just be an entertaining. Somebody be going to sleep in that one, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both shit talking young guys. with a lot of piss and vinegar. I think that'd be a good press tour as well. So Ian Gary, if he can get through Belal Muhammad, which I think he probably will. And one thing too, the matchup just stylistically, when we saw him face Shavkat Rakhmonov, I thought he did a very, very good job of keeping his back against the fence and not getting taken down. And I think that there's going to be a lot of similar situations than when he's facing Belal Muhammad in this one against the cage. Similar control positions like when he fought Rakhmonov. Is that 5 rounds or 3 rounds, Eddie?
Oh,
did they announce that yet?
He didn't say. They didn't say. But let me see if Topology got it up there. They probably have the details. But I venture to say 5 rounds would actually help Belal more than Ian.
That's what I was going to say.
It looks like a 3-rounder. So
Okay.
who knows? That might change. It might be.
That's
might have it wrong.
It could be a number one contenders fight, no doubt about it. And then when it gets closer, they move it. But there was some other announcements. Dana White announced that Zuffa Boxing is going to be going to Paramount Plus starting next year. What are your thoughts on that? It seems like they're going to all the streaming services: UFC, Zuffa Boxing, and WWE's obviously at ESPN's Plus. Excuse me, Eddie. What do you think about the deal?
Word is that ESPN Plus, they were close to staying with ESPN with Zuffa Boxing. This fucking close. And then I don't know what happened, but they were like, nah, Paramount Plus. I think Paramount Plus is smart for doing that because you own the Dana White business now. It's not just UFC, it's not just TKO, Zuffa, whatever. It is you own the Dana White business. Anytime Dana White does something, it's on your platform, Paramount Plus. So Zuffa Boxing, great. Because Dana's not doing fucking WWE, so it doesn't matter. But it's good to have both things on there. I'm excited about it because I want to see what Dana does with boxing, right? Like he came out and said not long ago. Now we all saw the clip of the boxing journalist. Sorry, for brother, I don't remember your name, but they asked him about the Ali Act, and Dana got it all in his panties and a bunch about it and everything. Later on, when he has time to think about his answer, tells 60 Minutes, I think it was 60 Minutes, that look, I don't want to mess with it. I just want to add to it, which is not at all true. He wants to change it. If you're going to add to it, you're changing it. It's an amendment. Don't stop fucking double speaking here, all right?
Yeah.
But I think what he's gonna try and do is make it like the UFC business, which we've seen a lot of fighters end up on the wrong end of that shit, and a lot of people criticize about fighter pay. Are we gonna do that shit with boxing? I think we will. I think it'll be the same thing. And again, not every boxer makes millions of dollars, but there's more opportunity to make millions of dollars in boxing, right? So I think we're gonna see something about similar. But in terms of the viewer, look, man, it's all Paramount Plus looking nice and pretty right now. We'll have to wait and see how they pull it off. But I'm
as
excited
a combat
about it.
sports fan, you're getting a pretty good deal there for $12.99 a month or whatever it is. You're getting everything you're asking for there. But,
and the price is going to raise for sure. Don't get no doubt about it. But I think it'll still be worth it.
Do you think so? Here's the thing: when we watch Dana White here as consistent viewers of UFC Power Slap, Dana White Contender Series, he controls multiple nights of the week, right? Do you think he's going to do the same thing in boxing? We've heard him talk about in the past the Tuesday night fights that he used to like and watch, and that was really his baseline motivation for the Contender Series. Do you think that they have some of those contender type fights in boxing under the Zuffa Boxing brand for Paramount Plus?
I think it'd be smart. I think it'd be smart to do that. I think it'd be like I'm not saying turn boxing into UFC or anything, but you could take some of these things. A contender series would be beautiful for boxing. You know how many boxers want a shot? Like, hey man, you want a shot? You're 2-0, you're 3-0. You got skills. You want to prove it. You don't want to do smokers all the time. You don't want to have to fight a bunch of nobodies and make fucking nothing and do a work construction job.
The Friday night fights are gone. They used to do the Joe Tessitore Friday night fights with Teddy Atlas.
Those were awesome.
One title fight at the end of the night, and then it'd be all contenders of ranked guys coming up and new guys who just came from the Olympics and Golden Gloves. And they don't even have that anymore. So I think it'd be a really good showcase, kind of like the Friday night fights used to be on ESPN for some of these young up-and-coming fighters.
And get me Teddy Atlas back on the mic, Dana. That's a massive.
He kills it in MMA.
He's so good.
I love his MMA stuff.
Dude, you know what I do? This is fucking dumb, but people listen to like Rocky music when they work out, whatever. When I'm about to go to jiu-jitsu, I'm about to even work out at the gym. You know what I listen to? There's a clip from Teddy Atlas, and it's not him screaming. He talks about like on any given night. I don't know if you've ever seen that clip, but it's the best fucking motivational clip I've ever had in my life. It's calm. He goes, on any given night, if you work hard enough, if you want it enough, if you love it enough, and that sort of stuff, he goes, you can be called champion of the world on one given night, right? And I'm hyped up just thinking about it right now. It's fucking amazing. Get Teddy Atlas back on the mic, man, immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Teddy a lot. And I think he's kind of been shunned by boxing because he would call out some of the stuff that Turki Al-Sheikh has maybe amended coming into the sport, right? He's been talking about how fighters don't get paid enough, and they're talking about the corrupt judging. Well, there hasn't been that many corrupt decisions now recently, right? We haven't bitched about a decision in boxing in quite some time. The Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach fight was more of a referee's blunder, in my opinion, than a judge's mistake, because you had to score the fight a draw, in my opinion, based on the referee not taking the point or the point for the knockdown. But I think that boxing right now is as good a spot as it's been since Teddy left, and I wish he'd come over and be back over there. But we've got a lot to talk about, guys. Dana White Contender Series last night, Eddie, was there any standouts to you? I thought that in the main event, Pinas, how do you, is it Pinas?
Damon Pinas. Yeah, Pinas.
He looks good. I don't know what the pronunciation of the last name. He looks like a real fighter, though. He looks like somebody who we're going to have to keep an eye on moving forward, and improved his record to 8-0 last night after the big knockout win. What did you think about his performance and then the other guys in the Contender Series? Okay,
Pinas was dope. That was fun. It was enjoyable. He has a chance. Physically, he fits the part. Right, obviously the striking is clearly there. He hits like a freaking tank, right? What I want to see more of it is him setting up those big shots. He was throwing a lot of single shots. It was really weird, right. but I want to see him learn how to set up those shots, pop, pop, boom, instead of just right hands. Give me a couple of jabs. Give me to the bottom. Give me something. Set it up. All right, that was nice. I think he's got a future depending on how you build him up, because you got to build him up. Oh shit, I pressed the wrong goddamn button. My bad, boys.
Curtis Campbell can crack.
Okay, we'll talk about him in a minute. Louis Jordan, it makes me laugh because he, personality-wise, seems so different than his brother Charles. I fuck the fight. I don't give a shit about the fight. He won. Good for you. Do your thing. But I want to see these two do some wild skits and shit when they end up on the same fight card, because that'd be fun as hell. Let's go.
Canadian Diaz brothers,
yeah. Christopher, dude, this guy is a fucking savage.
He won me some money last night. I'll tell you what, Christopher came in there plus 280 and got a knockout quick, man. That was awesome.
Kubanza was like, he looked like he was going to fuck him up. And Christopher was like, you know what, bitch? I know you hit like a truck. Fuck you. Let's go. And then,
Eddie, he had just knocked out Takashi Sato, who fought in the UFC over an XFC. And I had covered an XFC event, so I kind of keep up with their shit. And he had won over Takashi Sato in XFC. I was like, that's a big win coming into the Contender Series. A guy who's been in the UFC, had about 6 fights, fought below Muhammad before. I'm like, I'm going to go with Christopher. Let's take him. And worked out.
100%, dude. That was a dope fucking win for him. A dope fight. I want to see this kid do something crazy in the UFC for sure. And then, of course, Curtis Campbell. The fight was insane. Like his kicking, not the fight, but he's insane. His kicking fucking crack. He looks like your IT guy, straight up.
He looks like nothing, and then he gets in there and it's just fluid, coordinated, and explosive.
Dude, he can talk. He's entertaining. He can fucking fight. He can fucking finish. Okay. And look, dude, his prescription. I just need to know what the prescription is on his glasses. I saw the back of his fucking eyeballs when I was watching the post-fight shit. I was like, dude, what that's retina? That's not even retina. That's the shit. That's the back of my eyeball.
It was like bifocal. Yeah.
How blind are you, dude? Like one of my kids has a crazy prescription, right? And my eyes are fine, but they ended up with that's your mama's eyes anyway. But they have their glasses and their eyes look huge. Dude, his dwarfs everyone's ever seen. It was amazing. So, but other than that, a massive addition to the roster, dude. I think he's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he's gonna be somebody they're gonna feature a lot on those cards over there in London.
Have to. It's gonna be great.
All right, Eddie. Now, before we get into the PFL, Hughes versus Nurmagomedov, and then obviously our UFC 320 predictions for this weekend, we have to talk about this Wanderlei Silva situation. He was in a boxing match with a former professional boxer who I believe was a world champion. And Wanderlei was not doing well in the fight, starts throwing headbutts. And then there was a melee breakout in which a guy in a suit coat hits Wanderlei when he doesn't see him and knocks him out cold. Fabricio Verdum's in there, trying to get revenge for Wanderlei. So this was just where is the security right here, Eddie? I don't see a single security in there at all.
It's Brazil. It ain't fucking. Look, man. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing to say. Okay, it's not talking bad about Brazil. All right, so y'all can chill the fuck out. Go to chill center for that shit. Okay, but it's Brazil. It's not. You're not gonna have security. Not that's gonna jump in with a bunch of Brazilians. All right, because these are wild boys. All right. So Acenino Freitas is the guy he fought, and yes, absolutely, Freitas was whooping him. And so Wanderlei did what Wanderlei does. He gets a little dirty. I'm not making shit up. Y'all know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Wanderlei is dirty. I'll say it again. Fucking teeth. All right? Eat it. Okay, but the headbutts, I watched the fight. The headbutts, I'm like, what the fuck? Take a point. DQ this motherfucker. And he finally DQs him. Okay. Somehow the corners start yelling at each other. First of all, if you're in Wanderlei's corner, I'm talking to you, Fabricio. How the fuck are you mad? How are you mad? Your guy headbutted the whole goddamn time. Like, I mean, shit. The sucker punch, fucked, 100%. It wasn't even a sucker punch. Look, watch the video. Okay, watch. Fuck it. We got the video in front of us. Okay. So, okay, here we go. Wanderlei's there. Wanderlei could go to his corner and chill the fuck out. No, instead, he gets into it.
Yeah, he turned his head, looked this way. When he turned back, he turned right into it.
Freita's son, Rafael's the one that knocked him out with a glancing shot, okay? And then, is it going to show it? No, it's not going to show it. So somebody just grabs Wanderlei like a dead body and just drags him away. That made me laugh like a motherfucker, right? But end of the day, it's an embarrassing thing for the sport, 100%. But it's an embarrassing thing for Brazilians because now y'all look silly, 100%, right? Like, Chael Sonnen said all this shit about Brazil and shit like that, and y'all proving them right 20 years later. What the fuck are we doing? I guarantee you Chael Sonnen's back like, yep. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, okay. Because look, if you remember that tough Brazil, Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva, okay? They got into it. Wanderlei heated, emotional, instead of just like you saying, like, let's just fight. Let's sign the fight. Let's do this thing. He gets mad. I don't like you. Yeah. I don't like you. I can't let you get close. Who's the one that hit Chael Sonnen in the back of the head a bunch of times? One of Wanderlei's boys. Y'all just proving the shit talkers right. Okay? I love the passion. I love the fire of Brazilians.
Nobody's fighting clean in Brazil. No, it's
nobody.
It just ain't happening. It doesn't matter.
No. But here's the thing, like I love the passion. I love the passion, the aggressiveness, the nature of Brazilian fighters is a lot of fun when they get in there. The problem is when you let your emotions get the better of you. This is the shit that happens. And everyone apologized to everybody. I don't know if I apologized, but I know Freita's son, he apologized for the whole thing. He was like, I made Brazil look bad. I made us look bad. This is not what I'm about. It's not what the sport is about. Cool. Wanderlei came out and Fabrizio came out and blamed everybody else. I'm like, dog, come on, man. It's just, let's just call it what it is. Just a big major fuck up by everybody. All right. Can we just do that? Shake hands and move on?
Yep. All right. Speaking of moving on, we got the PFL to talk about, Eddie, and they actually have a pretty big fight coming on Friday night. Do you have the full card we can pull up here? In the main event, we've got Paul Hughes, Ireland's #1 contender, taking on 155-pound champion and the #1 ranked fighter outside of the UFC, Usman Nurmagomedov. The undefeated fighter who comes from the Khabib Nurmagomedov tree is going to be taking on Paul Hughes for the second time after Hughes put Nurmagomedov's basically running there in that second fight or in that first fight, which results in them meeting here for a rematch. Now, Paul Hughes was able to get a win in between last fight to this fight. Nurmagomedov, this will be his first fight coming back to Paul Hughes. But Eddie, to me, Usman Nurmagomedov is one of the most talented fighters I have ever seen, regardless of promotion. I think when he comes over to the UFC, he's going to be a legitimate contender in short order. Probably somebody could fight for a title in less than 3 fights. But Paul Hughes has really proved me wrong a lot in his career. We sat on live stream, me, you, and Patty McCory back in the day, and watched him versus AJ McKee, and he put on an absolutely dominant performance over AJ McKee, and something that me and you didn't necessarily know if he was capable of doing at that point in his career. This is a guy who continues to surprise us every single time he gets thrown into a bigger opportunity. He rises to the occasion. What chances do you give Paul Hughes of giving Nurmagomedov his first loss this weekend?
I mean, he's got a chance, but the problem is the rematch. All right. And these rematches never really go well for the guy that almost won. All right. We've seen it over and over and over again. The guy that almost won. Yeah. The guy that almost won rarely ever wins the second fight. So I think Usman's going to grab this. And that's it. I mean, honestly, he's gonna be the champion. I think I'd love to see Paul Hughes win it because we need something different. That being said, you mentioned Usman in the UFC. I don't know. I just have zero faith he'll ever get there. Like they're not gonna pay you money to decision everybody. Look, Usman, let's be honest. And you watch more. I mean, you've been in PFL way more times than I have. Yeah. Usman is more capable than what he's done, right? In PFL and in Bellator. Like he's got. Let me pull up his record right now.
Yeah, when he goes in there and fights Alexander Shahbazyan, like people are like, all right, it's out. Why don't you finish Alexander Shahbazyan? Or when he fights Brent Primus at Bellator 300, you were at that fight, Eddie, with me. You know, it's like, why didn't you finish Brent Primus? He's 38.
And that got overturned because Usman's on fucking drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look, let's look at the last 2 fights.
He's the bad boy of the
no, but listen.
family.
The bad boy. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Hey, he's the bad boy in terms of out of all the students in the family, he's the only one that failed math. That's how bad boy he is to me.
You listen to this guy on Fight Week. This guy is edgy. This guy's like John Jones. He looks for an opportunity to get mad at you. Like when they were on Fight Week and he was fighting Brent Primus, right? Brent Primus is one of the most respectable guys that there is. He talks nothing but high praises of his opponents unless there's some bad blood situation for no reason. But in Usman Nurmagomedov was like, this guy doesn't deserve to be in there with me. And like he has to find an edge coming into some of these fights. I really think that he's different mentally, not to where he's a superior fighter mentally than where Khabib was, but it's just different. Khabib had that, like he was trying to prove how good he was, and Usman's going in there at times, and I feel like he's just trying to. He coasts at times, but then he looks good, like against Benson Henderson, like he's trying to prove a point at different spots as well. But do you think he can get a finish this weekend, Eddie?
Usman?
Yeah.
No, dude. I have no faith in Usman finishing the fucking thing. He can't even finish a freaking, carton of milk for all I give a shit. Like, I'm not hating on Usman. I'm just sick of hoping this guy's going to do some shit. Because, look, like I was saying, last fight out, majority decision win over Paul Hughes. Before that, the Shahbazyan fight, you and I both thought he should have finished that shit, but he didn't. The Brent Primus fight, same thing, right? Overturned because he's on drugs. The reason he finished Benson Henderson is because Benson Henderson was looking for a finish and he got caught. Patricky Pitbull. Decisions him. Takes his belt, but decisions him. All right, now let's keep going. Chris Gonzalez, front chokes. You should be doing that, Chris Gonzalez, in your sleep. Patrick Pita, same thing. Manny Morrow. Do you get what I'm saying? The better I get it. The higher
the breakout performance.
Exactly. But the higher level competition, you're not living up to it, brother. All right, you're living down. Your performances should be up here, no matter where your opponent. If your opponent's here, you should be off the screen. The problem is you do this shit instead. That's what happens. Okay. Should he kill Paul Hughes? Absolutely. This fight should not go past the first round. It's going to. All right. That's what it is. And so, dude,
I think this probably goes to decision. I think Paul's a really tough kid, and 100%. He showed in that first fight he's hard to take down. And against AJ McKee, AJ couldn't get him to the ground either. His takedown defense, I believe, is some of the best that we've seen from a European prospect in recent memory.
No, in terms of guys that aren't living up to the potential, it's the only reason it pisses me off when Usman fights, because he doesn't live up to his goddamn potential. And it pisses me off because he should be in the UFC and he should be in the mix for a title, but he's not because he doesn't fucking do it. Yep. That's it. Bottom line. I think
that's well said. He's, like I said, when we started this talking about it, I think he's one of the most talented fighters I've ever seen, regardless of weight class. Yeah. He's one of the best. Like, of all the Nurmagomedovs, he's probably the best of them of all on the feet and on the ground. We've seen him do impressive things. So he's very well-rounded. I think that he gets a decision win over Paul Hughes this weekend, although Paul Hughes does have one-punch knockout power. And if he can hurt Usman Nurmagomedov and Usman doesn't have the legs to get him to the ground, we could see something very interesting happen. Eddie, sure. We got to talk about this, right? We got to talk about this being in Dubai. Yeah. Why are these cards not in America? And for an American promotion, do you think one of the reasons it's hard for them to build stars is because when they get their biggest fights, Francis versus Hennen, some of these, they're always going international.
It's going to be the same thing that the UFC is about to run into. They're about to go to Qatar. They got Dubai. I was going to shit. Everyone, again, bitches about the Apex. You can at least go to the Apex, motherfuckers. You ain't going to fucking Dubai. You ain't going to Qatar. You ain't going to any of these other places, okay? The PFL is doing this because that's the only place they can get any kind of traction, any kind of run, any kind of money. That's what it seems like, right? I mean, who's paying for this thing? The Saudis. Saudi money's paying for this. So, dude, this is weird. It's annoying. It's annoying, but that's the reason why people start watching too. They're just like, fights aren't that good. Look, if who's your favorite football team? You're a Bears fan? No, you're not. Yeah, you are. Okay, Bears fan. If the Bears are the Chicago Bears, but they only played in Ireland every single game, would you stop giving a fuck about the Bears? Probably eventually. Yeah. Right. Eventually, you'd be like, fuck them. I can't even go see them in person. Why would I do that?
Colts, something I'd probably.
I'll say this. Sorry, real quick, because we're on the subject. I know we're running out of time already, but I just want your opinion real quick. This new guy, I forgot his name, the new CEO of PFL, John Martin. Sure. What do you think? Because he's shaking things up a little bit, and I kind of like it.
I mean, anything like a pulse at this point is better than just a flat line.
Right.
So Here's what would be a start. If someone from the decision-making team could go and answer questions to the media after fights, that would be a start.
Yeah. If he does it, that'd be awesome. Yeah. But I don't. We'll see.
It really would. Who's there to ask about Francis? Who's there to ask about these questions and they sit there and think it's bad press, so they don't want to get the views on him. But it's the old saying: any press is good press. Your fans want to know what's going on with Francis. Your fans want to know if Jake Paul's going to make an MMA debut, and there's got to be someone back there to answer those questions. But Eddie, let's talk about. Okay, we got Cory Anderson versus Dovlad Yagshimuradov. Yagshimuradov last year beat Rob Wilkerson to win the world championship, but Cory Anderson has looked great. He just got a big win at heavyweight at the PFL Africa card versus Denis Goltsov. Really put on a dominant performance there. Eddie, these are two former Bellator guys, right? We covered these guys a lot in Bellator. What do you think about this matchup?
It's solid, and it's nice to see a little bit of a fresh matchup. I guess you usually get round robin these guys for the most part. But Dovlad is he's a sneaky guy. Like, he doesn't seem like he should be doing shit, and then he gets in there and fights. So I think Cory Anderson is going to have his hands full, but I still think he wins. I think Cory Anderson's like the swag, the experience, the skill level.
Look at the frame, 6'3", 5'11".
Physically, like go ahead and take him down, bro. Cory Anderson's a wrestler. He get right back up and fuck you up.
Yep.
He's got weird.
I think it's gonna be a fun matchup. Two grapplers. Maybe we see the striking between the two. We did see Dovlad attempt some spinning kicks against Rob Wilkerson last year. He's actually a surprisingly creative and dynamic guy.
That was hilarious, dude. All right, but this is gonna be. Look, man. I know Cory's got weird nipples, but he's still gonna win this shit.
All right, moving on down here, we got a bantamweight fight at 135 pounds between Magomedov and Sergio Pettis. Eddie, former Bellator champion Sergio Pettis, and a man who beat Peter Yan back in the day and has a bunch of big wins under his belt, Magomedov. Who do you like in this matchup? I got to tell you, Eddie, I favor Magomedov by points. I think Sergio Pettis is one of the toughest guys to ever come out of the Midwest, especially at his weight class. But Magomed is a good grappler. I think that Sergio had that knockout loss in boxing. He didn't necessarily. He looked a little. I'm going to be honest. He looked a little gun shy against Rufián Stotts when we saw him in Chicago. That wasn't the most entertaining matchup that we've ever seen before. And I think Magomed's going to have a point to prove here and wants to make a name for himself here at a new promotion. So I'm going to go with Magomedov in this one, and I'll take him submission or points.
I'm good with that. I think I like Magomedov. I think Sergio Pettis is kind of like he's coming to the end of his run, I think. And I know he's trying to extend it and all that, and it's just I just don't see it. I think Magomedov should be able to control this fight overall. Now, if Sergio Pettis wins, hey, all power to you, bro.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too. And Eddie, there is a big matchup here at 155 pounds. J.J. Wilson from Hawaii is one of the most athletic guys that we have at the lightweight weight class. But he's going to be facing a former All-American and dominant collegiate wrestler Archie Colgan, who has an undefeated professional record of 12-0, has big wins over Emmanuel Sanchez from Bellator, and has impressed in his short time with the PFL as well. Archie is a guy, Eddie, who trains with Justin Gaethje and is one of the most hyped prospects, or is friends with Justin Gaethje and is one of the most hyped prospects in the sport, period, especially in this promotion. I've got Archie Colgan in this one. I think he's going to use his wrestling. Now, J.J. Wilson has a long frame, right? He's 5'10". He fights long, too. He's got good kicks, good jabs, manages distance well. But I think Archie Colgan's good enough to get inside on him, and I think he's going to land multiple takedowns here. And I see J.J. Wilson fighting off his back for 15 minutes.
Archie Colgan, man. Archie Colgan all day. Archie should be in the UFC. Colgan's going to win this shit. No problem. JJ's going to put up a good fight, but I just don't see it.
Yep. So that's what we got for you guys for Road to Dubai PFL. That will be on Friday. Eddie, there's a weird start time on this. I'm sure it's in the Middle East. I'm sure they're going to have this in the middle of the day for whatever reason.
11 a.m. Eastern.
Oh my God.
For the main card. That's a main card. So it's
so catch that at work if your boss lets you, basically.
Is that Friday?
Yeah, on a Friday at 11 a.m.
At least they weren't stupid enough to do it on Saturday. Fuck me. And was going to watch it on the same day as UFC 320. Shit. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, weird timing, but 11 a.m. tomorrow, or I'm sorry, on Friday for the PFL card.
That's so silly.
Eddie, let's get right into it. It's UFC 320 fight week. Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. The first matchup between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira went to decision, with Magomed Ankalaev earning the victory and a belt here at 205 pounds. Alex Pereira gets his chance at revenge. And these two, Eddie, have been at each other's necks here on Fight Week. They have Google translation wars in the UFC PI waiting room. What do you make of this matchup between Ankalaev and Pereira? We broke it down last time as striker versus grappler, but Ankalaev is more than just a grappler, and at times he stood on the feet and traded with Alex Pereira. Pereira mentioned that he came into that fight at near 40%, claimed there was an illness in that first contest. Eddie, if Ankalaev stays on the feet with Pereira this time around and tries to, test Pereira using that ego, do you think he could run into a big problem when it comes to Alex Pereira? Do you think Magomed Ankalaev could maybe get knocked out this time around?
I think he could. I don't see it happening. I think we're going to go with decision again. I think Pereira is going to learn a lot from that first fight. Like, he did not expect Magomed to stand with him. I think he expected Magomed to shoot, and it didn't happen. And so Pereira's game plan was out the door. What Pereira didn't do well at all is adjust. There was zero adjustment in that fight. He did the same shit over and over again. Was he sick? 40%? Sorry, bud. No one cares. All right, get in there and fight. It is what it is. Okay. If you're 40%, you don't think you want to do it, don't fight. Pull out. Now you look like a bitch doing that, but still. No, I think it'll be a different fight, but I think Pereira's going to find a way to take the decision here, and then call out Tom Aspinall after the fight. I think that's going to happen.
That'd be crazy.
I think he'll do it.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I think if it goes to the decision, I'm going to have to go with Ankalaev, right?
Yeah.
I think if he survives and he grinds out these rounds, I see it being really similar to last time. And honestly, Ankalaev is going to want to go in there and prove that the first fight was not a fluke, right? There's a lot of talk about maybe he was sick, maybe 40%. There's a lot of injuries and a lot of illnesses going into all of these fights, So I don't put too much stock into that. And I think Ankalaev is the better grappler. Eddie, I'm going to take Magomed Ankalaev by decision again this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 48, 47, something close. I think that Pereira might rock him at times. Here's my thing. I think that this time around, there's a little bit more back and forth contention, shit talk between the two. Ankalaev might go in there and fight with his ego and get caught. Will Pereira be able to get him out of there? That's going to be the story. But I think there are going to be times of trouble for Ankalaev throughout this 25 minutes. I just think he's going to rely on the grappling and get it done overall.
Yeah, nah. Alex Pereira decisions this. He decisions it and then fights Tom Aspinall and then calls it a day.
All right, fight fans. Eddie's going decision for Alex Pereira. I'm going decision for Magomed Ankalaev. We move on to the second championship fight of this night. This is one of the best pay-per-view cards of the year.
Look at those odds, bro.
Look at the odds coming in this weekend. Minus 285, plus 230 for Alex Pereira. That is the biggest underdog number you will ever see Alex Pereira at least in his career so far. But minus 285, Eddie, I got to tell you, that's not even 3-1 for Magomed Ankalaev. I will take him double chance on the FanDuel Sportsbook submission or points. I don't think he knocks out Alex Pereira, so I think the fight ends by sub or points for Ankalaev. You can get that number down from minus 285 to probably in the 100s somewhere.
But, you know what we need to do? Hey, fuck it. Fourth wall break. You need to start doing some betting content for Cageside.
I could, yeah. I really could.
No, seriously.
I'd be interested.
Not for this card, but later on. Not a bad idea.
Sure. Yeah, not a bad idea at all. But for this one, we have Merab Dvalishvili. Some are calling him the greatest bantamweight champion of all time, and he's not even got that many title defenses yet. But if you look at the names on this guy's resume, Jose Aldo, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley twice, there are just a litany of the best fighters that have ever fought at this weight class, and Merab's ran through them all. Cory Sandhagen comes in this weekend, 5'11" versus 5'6". He's got the height, he's got the length, he's got the reach. But Eddie, at times, Cory Sandhagen has struggled with grapplers. And Merab Dvalishvili's sparring partner, Aljamain Sterling, was able to submit Cory in under 2 minutes back in a couple years ago, right? So that was really the breaking point for Cory. Since then, he's been on this long, win streak, lost one to Peter Yan, but he's done well since that loss to Aljamain Sterling. The grappling hasn't necessarily looked as bad as what we saw in that fight. And in some of his contests, like Chito Vera, he actually offensively grappled. So, and in his last one against Davis and Figueiredo, was able to win that fight on the ground. Do you think Cory's grappling is improved enough to where he's going to have a better look this time around against the dominant grappler in Merab Dvalishvili?
No, No, not at all. No. His game's going to be setting up Merab for when he comes in and shoot, immediately, because Merab's going to shoot within 15 seconds or whatever the stat is or whatever. No, that's Hamzat, my bad. He's going to shoot on him eventually, right?
Yeah, but you're right. Merab has the most takedown attempts in the history of the division.
How many knees can he eat to the fucking face before that shit's over? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how many knees can he eat?
Do you think he can catch him with the Frankie Edgar knee? I think that's really the story of this fight.
I think that's the game plan. That's got to be the game plan, right? By the way, Frankie Edgar, thank you, combat gods. This dude pulled out of BKFC. Thank you. We did not want to see you die. Or not even pulled out. My bad. He wasn't cleared, which tells you he's fucked up. Frankie, please get better. Go and start a business, bro. Please don't fucking fight no more. Anyway, no, the game plan is flying knee. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, I mean, is it the Hail Mary? Is that all that Cory Sandhagen has in this fight, to go in there and win by some big spectacular knockout, spinning wheel kick or flying knee? Do you see a path to victory for Cory by decision where he's able to outlast Merab over 5 rounds? I don't know if I see it, Eddie.
In terms of 5 rounds with Merab,
yeah,
shooting on him repeatedly.
Could Cory win a fight that goes to decision?
Ooh. Not if he drops rounds too early, because he's going to get tired. Merab's not going to get tired. If he drops, look, Cory needs to win, and this is going to be rough. I can ask too. Cory's got to win the first and second round. He has to win both of those rounds in my mind, or first and third, okay? Because you do not want to get to the 4th round and be down 3-0 or beat out 3 rounds. If you get to 4th round, you might as well just tap. Fuck it, because you're going to lose 100%. Hail Mary, I mean, it's in everyone's back pocket, right? Especially Cory Sandhagen, who's a psychopath as a striker. But you can't have that be plan A. Like, you got to go in and be smart and keep Merab off you. But it's hard to imagine that even happens, man.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see what game plan Cory Sandhagen does come up with, because he is one of the most intelligent fighters on this entire roster, in my opinion. He reminds me of Dominick Cruz back in the day, some of these former really highly analytical fighters that were also skilled as well. So Cory Sandhagen was able to get that leg submission victory, kind of snapped the leg of Davison Figueiredo last time out. So he's training with Ryan Hall. Maybe he's got enough defense on the ground to be able to protect himself, unlike he was against Aljamain Sterling in the past. But, Eddie, I'm going to go with Merab Dvalishvili in this one. Late round submission, 4th round. I think that Cory Sandhagen, like you're saying, needs to come out there and make a statement early in the 1st or 2nd round, just to let Merab know, I'm here for real, and this is a legitimate title fight. I'm a legitimate contender, and you have to be worried and on your shit when you're in here with me. So I think he's going up against arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time, arguably the greatest coach of all time in Ray Longo. This is a really, really tough situation for Cory to come in here and get the job done, in my opinion. Yeah,
Merab by whatever he wants. Honestly, whatever he wants. He'll probably kiss Cory Sandhagen's back at some point, like he would fucking Sean O'Malley. So, yeah, dude, I don't see a world where Cory Sandhagen doesn't win it or wins it without a Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. But you never know. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Cory Sandhagen can pull off these crazy feats like he did against Frankie Edgar and like he's done so many times in the past. So this is a very entertaining matchup. I believe this has potential to be one of the fights of the night. But Eddie, almost the shoe-in for fight of the night is our next matchup we're going to talk about, and that's a 205-pound contest between former champion Jiri Prochazka and former title challenger Khalil Rountree.
Look at those odds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is tough. Greatest bantamweight, best coach in my opinion of all time. Probably the first coach that should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's tough. It's tough. But if he wins it, it's his Rocky moment. That's what the careers are made for. It's like the Michael Bisping Rocky moment for Cory Sandhagen. But we move along here to 205 pounds. This is going to be an all-out war. We've got the always aggressive samurai and Jiri Prochazka versus the technically aggressive striker and Khalil Rountree. Eddie, this is how I see this fight going. I see Prochazka coming forward with these wild, aggressive elbows and strikes. But Khalil Rountree is not like these other guys that he's fought. He's not like Jamal Hill with the big baseball right hands. He's very straight down the middle, technical. Khalil Rountree, in my opinion, is the most technical fighter Jiri Prochazka has been in there with since Alex Pereira, when he was in there against Rakic and in there last time. I just think with Jamal Hill, I think this is a very tough situation for Jiri, who's going to have to be defensively sound, and sometimes he's not the most defensively sound.
Yeah, look, man, We just watched Khalil Rountree go to war with Alex Pereira. That was his last fight, right?
He had the snoozer with Jamal.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking bad.
Jim.
Yeah, if Khalil comes in there and fights like that, Yuri's going to fuck him up. I don't like that. I think when you fight a guy like Jiri, because he's so damn technical, you have to be just as technical and you have to be just as aggressive, if not more aggressive, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Who are you picking this one? Because I haven't thought about it yet.
So my head is telling me that Jiri is going to run through him, right? And
Okay.
that the pressure and the aggressiveness is going to be too much. He's going to push him up against the fence, make him fight off the back foot, and win.
Sure.
But then I'm also thinking, what is Khalil good at? He's a good southpaw. He's got good kicks to the body, and he's got that straight left hand. If he lands one of those straight left hands as Yuri's coming in, remember the fights with Muhammad Lowell back in King Mo back in Ryzen. King Mo lured him into a right hand, boom, face planted him. Jiri can get caught. He's been caught by Alex Pereira. He's been caught by King Mo Lowell. He's going to have to be like Eddie. He moves forward with his chin up more than any elite fighter I've ever seen in my life. He
asked for it. He wants to get knocked the fuck out. Jesus.
I mean, in all these fights, he does get hurt. Rakic hurt him. I don't know. I think that if Khalil can land something effective, he can get him out of there and stop the fight. But I'm going to go with Jiri Prochazka in this one by knockout round 2.
Ooh. Okay.
What do you got?
I got Jiri probably decision, 3rd round.
You don't think,
I think about,
knockout in this one?
No, you're not knocking out Khalil Rountree, I don't think. I think if anything, Khalil might knock him out.
Yeah, he could. That's what I'm saying. He could run into a piston left hand and set him down to the straight. But
yeah,
Eddie, is this your pick for fight of the night?
Ooh, oh man, let me hang on 1 second. That's a tough ask right there. I would say yes. Let me just very fucking quickly look at the card.
We got 4 more to talk about, and they could all, stylistically be
bangers. I'm gonna say yes. Yeah, that's my pick for fight of the night right there. Yeah.
This is my pick for fight of the night too. I think it's gonna be an absolute bloodbath between these two devastating strikers at 205 pounds. Eddie, we move along to the 145-pound weight class, where we see upstart contender Youssef Zalal, who comes into this one at 17-5. Youssef Zalal has picked up big wins over Brett Johns and Calvin Kattar in his last 2 fights. 2 real staple names of this division over the last 10 years. But Josh Emmett has one-punch knockout power, the hardest hitter we've ever seen at 145 pounds. Just lost to Lerone Murphy. Is this a step down in competition for Josh Emmett? And is it too much too soon for Youssef Zalal, who in my opinion has shown great potential and talent recently, but he's not fought someone with the devastating consequences of Josh Emmett yet?
No and no. Youssef Zalal is going to fucking put on a masterclass. I'm just saying,
he's too fast for him. But
here's the thing:
he hasn't had to pay the consequence for getting hit like he would with Josh.
Here's the problem: is Josh swings, everything's gonna be like there's no pop, nothing like that. I'm gonna fucking kill you because that's all I know how to fucking do is swing like a fucking psychopath, and it works with most of the fucking roster. The problem is Youssef Zalal is a sneaky motherfucker. Okay, the Moroccan Devil is a Moroccan Devil for a reason. This motherfucker's quick. He knows how to move. He's got good footwork. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
he's gonna swing and miss the whole time, and if Zalal's gonna just pop, whatever he wants to do, get a decision, go home with the dub.
And that's kind of what we saw in his last fight with Lerone Murphy. He was stuck in mud as Lerone Murphy would hit him with 3 punches, circled to the opposite side, away from the right hand, right? So I think that Youssef Zalal is a very smart fighter, and like you said, he's tricky and he's fast. He's going to be in and out of range, and I think he's going to put volume on Josh Emmett and win by decision. What about you, Eddie?
It's a lot by decision. That's just what it is.
Yeah, Josh is one of the toughest guys around.
And yeah, you're not knocking out Josh. You might tap him, but you're not knocking him out. And on top of that, I think he's over after this. Like,
yeah, he's getting up there.
But he's nowhere near a title shot ever, at all. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Youssef Zalal trying to steal Josh Emmett's ranking, but we move on to Eddie's favorite fighter, Joe Pyfer.
Hold up. Fuck you. Anyway, hold on a second. Minus 425?
That's huge for somebody. That's huge. I don't know. We might have to sprinkle some money on Josh Emmett at that rate.
Boy, Josh Emmett, you better swing like your life depends on it and land on that Moroccan Devil.
How about we see some Josh Emmett wrestling for once? He has got to wrestle to win that fight, doesn't he?
He might have forgotten to wrestle. He might just be. Guys love. Yeah, he needs to wrestle this fight. 100%. He needs to take him. He's going to take down and get some ground and pound going. 100%. But damn, that's Vegas. Vegas, you disrespectful motherfuckers. All right, god damn.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're thinking like what we're thinking, though. He's going to be too slow, too old. But I mean, they're going to be devastating. Yeah. If it's at plus 330 there, fight fans, my advice to you is to take him by knockout, because if he wins, in my opinion, it's going to be by knockout. He's not going to win by decision, I don't think, over Yusuf Salal. And if he wins, he's going to catch him clean with something he's never been hit with in his life before. But move on, like I said, to Joe Pyfer, Eddie's favorite fighter. He will be facing Abus Magomedov. Eddie, there is no way this one goes to the distance. And I hate to tell you, I think Joe Pyfer gets Abus Magomedov out of there in the first 2 rounds. Abus has been known to come forward and get clean caught. And Joe Pyfer has 1-punch knockout power. Abus Magomedov was knocked out in the PFL by who was it? Put the guns down, Luis Taylor. Luis Taylor from Chicago knocked him out in the PFL final back in like 2019 in 30 seconds, right? And we've seen Sean Strickland overwhelm him with volume as well. I think that Abus Magomedov is going to get drawn into a firefight, and I don't see anybody at 185 pounds right now that can beat Joe Pyfer in a firefight in the pocket. I'm going to take Joe Pyfer by knockout.
First of all, PFL, if you don't hire this man, he knows more about your promotion than you motherfuckers do, okay? Second of all, okay, it's not hard to beat Joe Pyfer, okay? Abus, let me give you the game plan. It's so fucking easy, okay? You can do 1 of 2 things. 1, get in the fight, okay? Jab, 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 fucking taco on Pyfer's face. He's going to be like, oh, taco, oh, fuck, oh, my tummy, oh, fuck, I can't do it.
Hey, you should bring him Taco Bell at media day just to, like, play fucking shit.
Why do fighters fight in Vegas? This is fucked up. This is not the fucking place to beat. Everyone needs to fight in Iowa. Okay, that's 1. 2, meet up with him before the fight. Like, I respect you, Joe Pyfer. I respect you. I'd like to share secret play. Taco on your face. It's over. He ain't even making the fight. Boom. Game. Joe Pyfer's gonna knock him the fuck out because god damn it, man. Joe Pyfer got some power in his hands, dude. All right. And in terms of who can beat him at 85, anybody in the top 5.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, I just think that there's a certain way Joe wins fights, right? And if you put yourself in the fire against him in the pocket, he can knock anybody out. Even if it's Khamzat Chimaev, and Khamzat's not going for takedowns, he's going blow for blow in the clinch with Joe Pyfer. No. This guy can catch you behind the ear, and he can put anybody down.
You got to be an idiot.
He's so mean and vindictive. He goes out there with just like hate in his eyes. He just wants to just destroy. And
Joe Pyfer's
got a different mentality than most people.
Joe Pyfer's best strike is the "fuck you, dad, I hate you" right hand. That's what that is, okay? Like, because it is. I mean, look, every time he goes in there, I swear to God, he just sees his dad like, "fuck you." It gets crazy, okay? In order to stand in the pocket with Joe Pyfer, you got to be an idiot or you got to be Kelvin Gastelum and an idiot, okay? There's no fucking reason to be in the pocket with Joe Pyfer. You got to stick and move, or take his ass down as fast as you fucking can, because Joe Pyfer has some angry ass power in his hands. All right, that white boy's gonna knock him the fuck out in the second round. That's what I would love to see Abus win. I really would. And I don't hate Joe Pyfer. I clown him because he lost to a taco. That's why. But at the end of the day, and then, look, first of all, anyone calling him racist, you guys are idiots too. The guy he lost to a taco. I'd be mad as fuck too if I lost to a fucking croissant. Yeah. I'd never go to Friends again. Croissant's a French, right? Yeah.
Listen, the thing is, I know you'd love to pick against him, Eddie, but the matchup is stylistically it in his favor, right?
Joe P, be Joe Pyfer. Just be an angry white dude that had to deal with a bunch of shit growing up. You win this fight, bro. Yeah. No doubt about it. And in fact, I'm going 2nd round knockout. Like I said, Abus is gonna fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I think 1st, 2nd round knockout. I think this is going to be high paced in that 1st round. Joe Pyfer, like Eddie is predicting, I'm going to go with that 2nd round knockout as well.
How you like these odds, bro?
Shit. I think those are pretty fair.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I think those are pretty fair.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And for Joe Pyfer, this is an opportunity for him to get a ranking as well.
Oh, big time. This is big. This is the biggest fight of his life, 100% right now. And he's going to win it with style.
So, Eddie, we got to move on here. And this is an interesting matchup. Andre Muniz and Edmen Shahbazyan is who I want to talk about next here. Edmen Shahbazyan came into the promotion very young, right? We saw this kid. He's a very technical striker, but then he struggled against grapplers. And it seemed like the blueprint was out for how to beat Edmen Shahbazyan moving forward in his career. But since the move to Extreme Couture, this guy has really gone on a tear. He was able to go out there and get a victory last time out. But Eddie, here comes the grappler again. Once again, he's going to get tested on the ground. Andre Muniz is a black belt. I know what happened against Paul Craig, but this is a guy who, if you go to the ground with him and you are not at that same level, he will snap your arm quickly. He's vicious on the ground. We've seen that in multiple submission wins of his in the UFC. Eddie, my question to you is Edmen Shahbazyan's the hole in his grappling game, has it been filled enough to deal with someone with the jiu-jitsu of Andre Muniz?
Well, one we're about to find out, and I sure as fuck hope so. He's over at Extreme Couture now. Remember, he used to train with Head Movement, that motherfucker, Tarbardian, or that like fake ass coach.
What's his name? Edmen too?
Edmen Tarbardian or something like that. Glendale Fight Club, where fucking Ronda used to train at. And look, if you want to know how good of a trainer Edmen is, just go back and just YouTube Ronda's old shadow boxing clips, and you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway,
just watch Travis Brown his first 4 fights, and then watch his last 4 fights.
Edmen Tarbardian would Wing Chun KO Shahbazyan. Look, here's the thing. I haven't heard from Edmen in forever. I think that guy's just like no one wants to work with him anymore. But anyway,
he just did a podcast on Rampage, the Rampage Jackson pod.
Did he? Edmen Tarbardian?
Yeah, and they were talking about Ronda coming back.
Keep this motherfucker. Why? Hold up. Is that real? Did she say she wants to come back?
Brother.
Or are we just making shit up?
You haven't seen the videos of her hitting the pads?
Motherfucker, I go shoot hoops at the basketball court doesn't mean I'm coming back to play college ball.
She's been in there for 6 months. She showed a before and after on her Instagram. She looked kind of like Conor McGregor does now, hitting the pads when she started. And then now she's putting together 8-punch combo. I hate to say this too. She looks as good on the pads now as the puff pieces Edmen would put together on the UFC Countdown show back in the day. Like, you remember when people were like, "Oh, Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather boxing match."
He could be my
just doing the pad work and shit. Like, she looks good on the pads relatively to when she was doing it back then.
Bro, Rogan was saying she can knock out Mike Tyson. I remember we all said that, like, bitch, what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about? You're Joe Rogan. Are you that fucking high? See,
that hype around Ronda when that rocket ship was going. That rocket ship was on fire.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, the day I stopped listening to Joe Rogan was when he said that shit. I shit you not. That day I was like, oh, you really are stupid. Oh, fuck that. I'm not listening to this dumbass. All right. And again, he's not an idiot. He got ahead of himself way because he was friends with Ronda and all that shit, which I totally understand. All right. But when he said that shit, I was like, the fuck you talking about, Willis? You out of here. But here's the thing. I don't want to see Ronda fighting anybody. Fuck out of here. All right. Let that woman go be a mom. All right, let her do her thing.
Back for the White House card, Eddie, and I'm telling you.
I don't want to see that shit at all. If she comes back, good on her, but she's gonna get wrecked. She's gonna get wrecked by.
She's gonna fight Misha or Holly Holm. I guarantee it.
The fuck are we doing? Are we putting the Golden Girls in the goddamn ring? Leave it alone. Goddamn. Let these women
that's
go.
What I'm hearing.
Fuck. No, stop it. Stop it. Jesus, it's gonna be the worst goddamn fight on the whole goddamn card. That's gonna be the worst fight.
Yeah, Roxanne Modafferi.
Fuck it. You know what I want to see? Rock, because we know how Ronda leans, right? Or left, but
Gina Carano.
Can Gina lose that? Okay, I'm not gonna talk about a woman's weight. I'm gonna shut the fuck up on that one. I'm gonna shut the fuck up on that one. All right. I'll say this: Gina has a better chance of being an NFL linebacker than she has fighting in the UFC. All right, I'm just telling you right now. I love her; she's great. Look, I used to have a massive crush on Gina Carano back in the day. All right, you could there's not one man on this planet that didn't see Gina Carano weigh in. You're just like, damn, baby, why are you fighting? Let me take care of you. Every one of us is saying that shit. But here's the thing: do not put the Golden Girls in there. Goddamn. All right, back to this fight. Holy shit, I can't believe that was the thing. Oh shit! Yeah. Maybe if she like chops out both of her legs.
170 is not a female's division. That's
Jesus
25
Christ.
pounds from the highest division.
Yeah, fuck out of here. No, but here's the thing.
Anyway,
back to this fight. In terms of the grappling, Anya Muniz has not wowed me at all in the last 2-3 fights. So
no.
I could definitely see there's definitely a world where he gets knocked the fuck out by Shahbazyan.
Yes. I think
that's what happens. I think Shahbazyan's got the momentum. He's getting better. He's young. I want to say he's younger, but he's also like a bad motherfucker now.
28, 29.
Yeah, and he trains with Sean Strickland. All right, enjoy that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think Edmen's turning the corner, right? And we've listened to Eric Nixon talk about him in interviews saying that he has a lot of potential and he's liked where he's gone in recent contests going out there. So I'm going to go with Edmen Shahbazyan, 3rd round TKO. I think the accumulation of punches over 2 rounds is going to be too much for Andre Muniz. Muniz is going to go out there and look to land leg kicks and stop the mobility of Edmen in that first round, which will probably, he hopes, lead to takedown attempts in the clinch throughout the contest. But I don't know. Edmen's going to have to keep his back off the ground. We've seen him get submitted. If Edmen's back does hit the ground with Andre on top of him, there is a real probability that Andre Muniz gets a submission win. But this is as close to striker grappler as we're ever going to see. Yeah,
I'm with you on that, 100%. So Edmen Shahbazyan, 3rd round TKO, just the same as you. Or first round savage knockout.
I could see either. Eddie, we got one more fight we got to talk about. The still undefeated Basharat brother, Farid, minus 455. That's got to be close to the biggest favorite on this card. He's going to be taking on former top 10 contender Chris Gutierrez, who gets back in the win column with a win last time out. Eddie, who do you like in this one? We saw Javid Basharat get flatline KO'd by Ricky Simone, is a huge favorite in that fight. Very similarly, Basharat is a favorite in this one. What do you think about? Do you think this is the most highly potential, talented Basharat of the two? And do you think that he extends his winning streak moving up in competition here?
No, I like Javid better. I think Javid's way better. My opinion. I mean,
I thought so too before he got knocked out.
Everyone gets knocked out, bro. Conor McGregor got knocked out twice. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, technically twice. Actually 3 times. Mayweather knocked him out. Shit. Anyway, back to this thing. I want to pick Chris Gutierrez so badly, but this fight is set up for Basharat to fucking win. Straight up. It's for Basharat to put on a show. Chris has a massive opportunity here to play spoiler and ruin the UFC's plans for this dude. Ain't gonna happen. Free Basharat decisions and
I think handedly. Exactly the same.
Handedly. Exactly it won't be hard.
Chris is too tough to finish. Chris and him on the feet, I think, are neck and neck. It's an even fight on the feet. But when you get Basharat's grappling, I think he's a little bit better grappler than Gutierrez. So what do I think is going to happen? I think they're going to exchange pretty similarly on the feet. And then in some situations, I see Basharat taking him down and just winning enough moments to take the victory on the judges' scorecard. I'm going to go with the decision for Basharat as well. A lot of similar picks this week from us, Eddie.
Yeah. I think with the either. I mean, you might be getting in my brain, shit, man. I
picked all the fights last night, right? and you're leading in predictions.
I've been telling people I'm terrible. I was telling the guys when people ask me who do you think's gonna win, and I'm like, I shit you not. Online, they'll tell me, who do you think's gonna win this one? I'm like, talk to Brett Cagle, talk to Dylan Rush, talk to fucking.
You lead our website. What do you mean?
Bro, I'm too busy to fucking think about this shit. All right, I'm over here editing videos, huh?
I think you're beating all of us.
No, I think Alex took the lead on this one.
Oh, you did?
Okay. I want to say he took the lead. I think I stopped doing I was researching a little bit here and there, and then someone were basically what I do in order to win, I have to pick against my heart, right? So I go, oh man, for example, if it's Nate against anybody, I want to pick Nate. Other guy's gonna win, and it does. It happens every time. So that is what it is. No, but here's the thing. In terms of this fight around, I want to see Chris win so badly, but Farid's gonna get him. I just don't see a world where Chris is able to outlast him, and the odds absolutely fucking reflect that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Fight fans, if you see big odds this card on, I would recommend going to that double chance option on FanDuel Sportsbook. What that allows you to do is pick 2 methods of victory. So, for example, if we go back up to Farid Basharat and Chris Gutierrez, Farid's probably going to win by knockout or points, right? Doesn't necessarily come across as like a dominant jiu-jitsu guy. So I would take that knockout or points. It might make that minus 455 go to a more friendly number like minus 225. So just a little bit of gambling advice out there for you guys if you want to put some parlays in this weekend. But that's all we got for you guys this week. That is our UFC 320 coverage, unless you want to talk about another fight on the card there, Eddie.
No, I just thought it was funny that Patrick Mix is in the early prelims, which honestly deservedly so at this point. Punahele Soriano, that dude is a hit or miss. But man, I think he hits this weekend. And then I forgot who the other fella was that was on there that I want to. Mr. Van Zandt on his card. Don't know why. Don't care.
We've been wanting to see Austin Vanderford back for a while after.
No, the fuck we don't. Who wants to see him back?
He looked good in that debut.
Okay, hang on. Who did he fight? Because I don't remember.
He had a knockout win in that debut. TKO. He looked like he beat? Badass too. And his body looked different. We were saying he came back on, maybe some saucy.
Yeah. I think I made fun of his stupid ass haircut. That's what it was. Never mind. Yeah. All right, never mind. Yeah, good for you, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. So that's what we got for you guys this week. UFC 320 coverage and all breaking news and analysis. We will be back next Wednesday live on the Cageside Press social media platforms. Thanks for joining us, fight fans, and we'll see you next time.
Gabriel Gonzalez on location in Vegas.
Yep, check our YouTube page. We'll have all that stuff up for you guys for UFC 320 Fight Week and the PFL coming this week. See you next time.
Yep. Go Cards.